This is the day the Lord has made, so of course we'll rejoice and be glad in it. I am Pastor Marianne Kellenbach, pastor at Living Faith Church, which is located in the community of Tradition in the city of Port St. Lucie in the state of Florida. And today is, oh my gosh, it's Friday, October the 22nd. And this week we have been primarily focusing on what's God's and what's ours. And as we're learning, it's all God's. It's all God's. No matter what our culture tells us, everything belongs to God. And so and this week we're understanding what is our role in everything that belongs to God. What is it specifically that God has given us? The task, the vocation to do. We are called to care for everything. And I love that in Psalm 8. In Psalm 8, we are reminded, when the psalmist asks the questions, who are we? That we are created just a little below the divine, that we as human beings are given such a great responsibility. In Genesis, in the beginning, right, we are told we are being given a dominion. We are called to care for, to tend all of creation. And we are to care for each other. We have been given or delegated this responsibility. And so how are we doing with that? Well, when we put these two things side by side, when we understand that it does not belong to us, it all belongs to God. And the second is that we are called to care for everything and everyone. Well, then we understand the vocation much better. We're not called to hold on to these things. It doesn't mean that we don't hold on to some things, but it doesn't mean that we're called to hold on to everything. That would be like clinging to something that doesn't even belong to us. And that is exactly what we do, because we have this false sense that whatever it is that we earn in our wages is ours, that it's ours. No, it all belongs to God. So when we say, I love what Chick Lane writes in his book, Reflections on Faith and Finances, when he says in there that, sometimes we might say, let's give back to God that portion which is God's. Well, if we were to give back that portion which is God's, it would be 100%. We tend to think maybe it's 5%, 10%. It's not. It's 100%. So when we think in terms of that, let's not think in terms of that, because I don't know about you, but I can't give 100% of it back. I need something to live on. And so we faithfully pray and ask God, what is that portion that I am to keep, and what is that portion that I am to let go of? And sometimes we get scared and we cling to more than we actually need. And so what I have found, and this is so true for me, and Chick does write about it in his book, but for me personally, what I have found is that the more I trust in God to provide, the more I receive. Meaning, I am free to give out more to those who are in need. I am free to give more to the church. I am free to share, because I know, being the pastor at Living Faith, I know where we are doing work and ministry in the world. So I know where the offerings are going, as do those who worship, right? We know that 10% of our offering goes out to mission support, which covers those who are in need right here in our county. It also covers those who are in need in the state of Florida, those who are in need in our nation, as well as worldwide mission support. We also know, or you also know, that 2.5% of our offerings, right off the top, 2.5% goes to Love and Hope in Action in Stuart, which is a ministry that cares for those who are homeless, those who are in need. That ministry is amazing. Go to our website and read more about it. You also know that 2.5% goes to the Hibiscus Children's Shelter, and that is a home here on the Treasure Coast for those children who are neglected and abused and do not have a place to live. There is the village, which is located in Vero Beach, and there is the shelter for the younger children, which is located in Jensen Beach. And soon, the Child Advocacy Center will be open in Port St. Lucie, and I cannot wait for the work that we will be doing. We do diaper aid ministry, where we're giving diapers out, Loving Hands ministry, where there are Afghans and blankets that are given to those patients who are undergoing cancer treatment, chemo. For those who are in hospice at this time, Linus blankets for children who have all of a sudden found themselves either to be harmed in some way, or they are in need of that extra care, love to be wrapped in. There's so many ministries, even the ministry of cleaning up our community right here, earth keeping, right, caring for creation. So when we think about who are we, God, that you would make us just a little bit lower than you, and you have given us responsibility. You have delegated this responsibility to us to care for all of your creation. It means all that we have. It doesn't mean that we hold back the financial piece, because we understand that all of it belongs to God. And as Carl and I are growing in our faith and our understanding of this, what we have discovered is we're letting go. We're letting go more and more, and getting to the point where we say it's not about the number. It's not about a percentage. It's that God owns it all. What is it that I need to keep? And then what do I need to circulate back out there to care for all? And what I have absolutely found, is that the more I'm giving out there to care for all, the more I am being a good steward, caretaker of the wealth that God has given me. What I've discovered is that God is giving me more. Not more for me to keep, but more for me to share with all of God's creatures, including human beings, those who are in need. On this day, dwell on these scripture passages from Deuteronomy, as well as from Psalm 8. How is God calling you to be a good steward? By the way, steward comes from sty ward, which is the person who cared for the sty, the pigs. They didn't own the pigs, they cared for the pigs. And Chick points that out in his writings. So on this day, dwell, think about, what is God calling you to do with the gifts that God has given to you? It is the gift of your time. It is the gift of your talent. And yes, it is the gift of your treasure, your finances. I will see you back here tomorrow for our time of centering prayer, Saturday. Blessings.